What if the deepest pleasure you could ever find, the most real knowledge, even reality itself, what if it wasn't out there in the world we touch, but actually deep inside us?
And what if everything you perceive, everything truly present to you, is fundamentally a kind of light? Not, just the light you see, but something much, much bigger.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, your way to get truly well informed. Today we're continuing Wisdom Unveiled. This is episode 10 of our special series, and we're taking a really fascinating journey, I think, back into the world of the Iranian philosopher Shihab al-Din Yahya ibn Habash Suhrawardi.
Yes, and for this deep dive, we're drawing from some really insightful conversations between Dr. Ibrahim Dinani and Dr. Esmail Mansouri Larijani, two contemporary Iranian philosophers. Their discussions give us a unique window into Suhrawardi's thought.
Okay, and just a quick but important heads up here. This deep dive is a translation and/or reproduction of those original conversations. Now, translating complex philosophical ideas, especially from Persian, is tricky. Some details or nuances might not come across perfectly, so we do apologize in advance if there are any discrepancies.
Absolutely, and our goal today is really to unpack Suhrawardi's unique idea, the philosophy of light, or illuminationism. We want to explore how this core concept, light, isn't just about seeing, but actually explains knowledge, the soul, maybe even our eternal reality.
Yeah, we're going to dig into what light really means for him way beyond just, flicking a switch. We'll see how it helps understand pleasure, pain, and maybe points towards some kind of ultimate truth. So let's get into it. This idea of illumination.
Okay, so to really get Suhrawardi, you have to start with his main idea. The universe is light. He's known as the reviver of the philosophy of light, Hikmat Khosravani. That name itself points to ancient Persian wisdom, hence illuminationism. And this wasn't just another philosophical school. It was a deliberate move away from the Greek peripatetic tradition.
Ah, the Aristotelians. Heavy on logic, forms, deduction.
Exactly. They were like architects, building knowledge logically. Suhrawardi, though, he was after something more direct. An intuitive experience, not just categorization.
Like an inner vision, seeing reality directly instead of just thinking about it.
Precisely. His philosophy grounds knowledge in that direct intuitive illumination. He had this deep reverence for Nur light. It's all through his major work, Pardanama, the Treatise of Light. But here's the crucial part, the bit people often miss. Nur isn't just physical light.
Okay, so not the lamp on my desk, or sunlight. If it's not that kind of light, what is it? How can the whole universe be light?
For Suhrawardi, light is fundamentally about manifestation Zuauer and presence Hoser. Anything that appears, anything that is present, is a form of light. Think about it.
Right.
Light reveals itself, right? And in doing that, it reveals everything else. An object in darkness is hidden. Shine a light, it becomes present. So presence itself is light.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That changes things. So this microphone, its presence to me, makes it a form of light in his view. It's not just lit up by light, it actually is light because it's present.
Exactly. Its presence to you is its light. And this leads straight to God as pure light. It connects beautifully to the Quranic verse, Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. God is light because there's no absence in him, no hiddenness, pure presence, the ultimate reality, the ultimate source of manifestation.
Okay, pure light,
Yeah.
absolute presence. So if God is at the top, the ultimate light source, where do we fit in humans? Is our consciousness, say, more light than a rock? Are there degrees?
Oh, absolutely. There's a whole hierarchy. Presence, manifestation, it comes in degrees, ranks of luminosity. God's at the absolute pinnacle. But our rational soul, the nafsi natika, our thinking self, that's also a profound form of manifestation. It's our inner light, our awareness.
Our inner light. I like that. It gives this sort of inherent value to consciousness itself.
Well, think about it. If your own soul wasn't already present to itself, if it didn't have that inner light of self-awareness, how could anything else become present to it? Perception starts right there, with the soul's self-presence, its own light. And within us, the intellect, the ego, that's the most luminous part. It has the most light, the greatest capacity for presence.
That really flips how I think about knowing something. You mentioned earlier, true knowledge for him isn't just information, like a mental picture. It's more like a divine ray. How does that idea, Ilmi Huduri, challenge how we normally think about learning?
This is where he really makes his stand. He critiques those peripatetics who said, knowledge is just a form gained by the intellect. He said, look, if it's just a form, like a drawing on paper, then the paper should know what's drawn on it, which is absurd, right? For him, knowledge is active.
So it's less like having the map and more like actually being there, walking the streets, feeling the place.
Exactly that. Knowledge is presence. Ilm Huduri, direct presence. It's not just a passive concept sitting in your mind. It's an active, illuminating shua, a divine ray. Think about reading a detailed recipe for sourdough. You have the information, the forms. But then there's actually doing it. The smell of the yeast, the feel of the dough, the sound of the crust, tasting it. One is info, the other is direct, present experience. It changes you.
It feels more like a transformation than just, collecting facts. It sounds like true knowledge actually makes you brighter, spiritually speaking.
Precisely. Genuine knowledge is that direct experience, that divine ray entering the heart. It connects to the hadith. Knowledge is a light that God casts into the heart of whomever he wishes. For Suhrawardi, that's literal. Knowledge illuminates. The more you know, the more aware you are, the brighter you become. And this is why spiritual detachment, letting go of worldly distractions, increases that inner brightness. It clears the way for the light.
So God, pure knowledge, is pure light. And if that knowledge, that light, were absent for even a second, that would mean non-existence. Which sounds like knowledge isn't material at all.
Exactly. Knowledge is immaterial. It transcends the physical. You can't weigh it or measure it or say it gets old, can you? Those properties just don't apply. Like a geometric point, it has no dimensions, no width, depth, height, but your intellect can grasp it. That shows intellectual concepts and real knowledge are immaterial. So all perception, from the senses to thought, it's all interconnected, all forms of light, presence, manifestation.
Okay, this whole philosophy really shifts your view of reality. So if everything is light and presence, what about something like pleasure? We usually link pleasure to physical things, taste, touch, sight. How does that fit?
Right, that's a crucial point. For Suhrawardi, real pleasure isn't in the external thing itself. It's found in proximity to that world of light, of unity. Pain, on the other hand, comes from darkness, separation, disunion. Think of your body. When it's whole, it works. Cut off a limb or a disease causes cells to separate. That's pain, disconnection.
So darkness is separation, light is unity. And pleasure and pain track how connected or disconnected we are from that underlying light.
Exactly. And he talks about our different faculties, senses, imagination, apprehension, WAM, which is about understanding specific meanings, not delusion. And finally, the intellect. Each has its own kind of pleasure, but there's a definite hierarchy, mirroring the hierarchy of light.
So sensory pleasure versus intellectual pleasure, and you're saying one is way better.
Oh, incomparably better. Sensory pleasure is limited, it fades, it's tied to the physical. Intellectual pleasure, that can be universal, infinite. Think of a baby, right? Their first lab is their mouth taste, touch. Then they move through other senses, imagination, then WAM, understanding partial meanings like this dog is friendly. And finally, the intellect. And the intellect, like that geometric point, transcends the physical. It's pure light, pure clarity, ultimate presence, no division, no limits.
So even simple pleasures, like enjoying food or sunshine, they ultimately need the intellect to give them meaning, to even register as properly pleasurable.
Absolutely. The intellect is working behind the scenes, making sense of the raw data. Your eye sees colors and shapes, but it's the intellect that says, ah, table or friend. Without that judgment, it's just noise, like a baby's first blurry sensations. The intellect provides the coherence, the meaning. It's foundational.
It really is. Which brings up, the human condition. We chase pleasure in worldly things, money, power, and often end up feeling empty. How does Suhrawardi link this to the intellect and lover?
He tackles this head on. He explores the deep connection between aql, intellect, and ishq, love, passion. He famously says, love is the intoxicated intellect. Which sounds odd, but it means the intellect, when completely absorbed by its object, becomes love. He uses an example from Maulana, the poet. Imagine a lover totally devoted to their beloved. Then the beloved dies. The physical body is still there, exactly the same. But the love, gone.
Because the love wasn't just for the body, it was for something else.
Precisely. The beloved was the meaning, the mana, the essence. And that's perceived by the intellect. True love, Suhrawardi says, is for the meaning, which is intelligible, not graspable only by the intellect. So the intellect is fundamental to deep, real love. This whole framework urges us to move from focusing just on the external to looking inward, warning against chasing transient things like power and wealth that often leave people feeling hollow.
That journey inward, it sounds like it's pointing towards, ultimate truth, a stable reality. He interprets that Quranic verse, and indeed the home of the hereafter is the true life. What does he mean? Is it just about after death, or is there something for us now?
He brings in this idea of Makad Sik, the seat of truth, a place of deep stability and reality. It's the opposite of the instability and illusion of this world. Connecting to the light of lights, God leads to this truthful, stable existence. Real power, Real permanence lies in truth and awareness. It's not just a future place. It's a state we cultivate right now.
Okay, so that's where real rest, true power is found, in connecting to truth, not external stuff.
Absolutely. And he says ultimate reality is ineffable, beyond description, wasla yasaf. Our words are just descriptions, pointers. They can't capture the thing itself. As Milana also suggested, words eventually fail. But here's the real kicker, the transformative insight. Suhrawardi says that dwelling place of truth, the house of reality, it's within your own self. We have to go inward to find it.
Wow, that's a call to action, really. Look inside. But if this truth, this light is within us, and pleasure comes from getting closer to it, why are so many of us, well, seemingly unaware? Why all the discontent?
Suhrawardi has a concept for this, sukr tabiat, the intoxication of nature. He's basically diagnosing a kind of spiritual blindness, a major distraction that stops us seeing the truths and pleasures that are right there within us.
Like being drunk, clouding our perception, making us miss the bigger picture.
Exactly like that. Being totally immersed in physical desires, worldly goals, the material stuff, it acts like a powerful drug. This intoxication fogs our perception. We don't notice the spiritual pleasures, and worse, we don't even feel the agony of ignorance, as he calls it. It's like doom scrolling on your phone while a stunning sunset happens outside, or missing a deep conversation because you're obsessed with trivia. It's not that engaging with the world is bad, we need to live, but indulgence beyond necessity deepens the intoxication. It's like static drowning out beautiful music.
Okay, so for those who manage to sober up from this intoxication, who seek that inner light, you mentioned Farr-e, a divine effulgence. What's that?
Farr-e, it's an old Persian term, meaning a divine radiance, a light flowing from God. It's seen as the soul's inherent luminosity. For someone who seriously contemplates the light of lights, who nourishes their soul through seeking knowledge and discipline, this divine effulgence can be, well, bestowed. It's a radiant gift, a spiritual blessing.
So it's not automatic, it's something earned, maybe, through effort and purification.
In a way, yes. It brings heightened spiritual insight. It leads to true shanhood, witnessing reality with the intellect's eye, not the physical one. And Zook, tasting spiritual realities with the intellect's palate. Suhrawardi is clear. You need a purified, receptive intellect for this. The purified intellect becomes the lamp for this divine flame, allowing true insights, meaningful dreams, real inspirations to come through. It's about clearing that spiritual static we talked about so you can actually perceive these deeper realities.
This is all incredibly deep. But what does it mean for us right now, listening to this? If the true life is often talked about as being in the hereafter, what's the rush now? Why bother cultivating this inner light today?
The urgency is precisely because of the link Suhrawardi draws between our state now and our eternal reality. Our current spiritual ignorance, fueled by that intoxication, leads directly to suffering in the hereafter. And that suffering is the ignorance being cut off from light, presence, awareness. Being blind here means facing the agony of that blindness there. It's not punishment, it's just the natural outcome of being absent from reality.
So this life isn't just a waiting room, a dress rehearsal. It actually forms what comes next.
Exactly. Not a waiting room at all. This life is the keftsar, the cultivation field. What we sow here, knowledge, awareness, character, striving for truth, that's exactly what we reap eternally. The connection is direct and inescapable. It is the main event, the critical time for cultivation. He points back to that Quranic verse, whoever is blind in this world will be blind in the hereafter and even more astray. That blindness isn't physical, it's jalat, profound spiritual ignorance.
So this life is our crucial chance to grow spiritual knowledge, purify our intellect, build character, because that literally shapes our eternal existence, defines our capacity for ultimate pleasure.
Indeed. The afterlife, as Suhrawardi sees it, is a world of pure presence. No division, no separation. Just absolute knowledge, light, clarity, and crucially, absolute pleasure. Found in unity, complete concentration jam. Imagine every part of you fully present, fully aware, fully alive all at once. No fragmentation.
That sounds like ultimate union. No separation left, no struggle.
It really is. He sees reality as pure Nayim blessings, goodness, eternal delight. Every perception is pleasurable because it's rooted in unity and truth. Your desires perfectly match what is because there's no gap between knower and known. Even the divine drink mentioned in the Quran, Sharaban Tahura, becomes a metaphor for this pure knowledge and pleasure. God's majesty, Jalal, becomes beauty, Jamal. His wrath, Quire, is tempered by his grace, Everything comes together in unity. No more duality.
A truly powerful vision, and yes, maybe an urgent one for reflecting on our own inner state. We've certainly covered a lot today, exploring Suhrawardi's philosophy of light, his idea of light as presence, knowledge as illumination, the intellect as the path to real pleasure and truth, and how vital it is to cultivate inner awareness against that worldly intoxication.
His message seems pretty clear, doesn't it? True life isn't just about not dying. It's about transforming how we see, how we know, how we act, all rooted in that divine light that's always revealing itself outside us and within us.
So, here's something to ponder. If Suhrawardi is right, and even our normal waking life can be like a kind of sleep compared to deeper realities, deeper presence, how much of your own waking life are you truly fully present for? And what kind of eternal reality are you cultivating right now through how you seek knowledge and truth?
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Suhrawardi's illuminationism. It's been fascinating.
Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking the light.